Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we've got an absolute legend for you today. She's a lady who has toured the world, had international hits and been a star for nearly all of her life. She's coming to the UK with David Guest's I've Had the Time of My Life tour, which opens on September 24th. And I'm delighted to say Freda Payne joins us live now from LA. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, just really great. We're having a heat wave out here.
Oh, don't bring that up. It's pouring with rain here in our summer in England.
Oh, well, we need the rain. Give us your rain.
Listen, I want to talk to you about you because your life is just remarkable. I mean, what a career it's been. You look better than ever and you're sounding remarkable. Who can say that?
I guess I take good care of myself and, that's Mother Nature, I guess. So it's about being happy. It's about the spirit, if your spirit is good and you're up, and then, I'm always, and then I live very close to my gym. I belong to a gym franchise called Equinox, and I go there for my yoga classes, and sometimes I, do the elliptical machine. So I'm pretty happy.
Do you still pinch yourself when you think about your humble beginnings there in Detroit, and now you're in LA and you've toured the world and you've had big hits? It's a remarkable story from very humble beginnings, really.
Well, yeah. In some ways you're right, because when I think about it, as a little girl in Detroit, living on, my grandmother lived around the corner from me on Horton, and my sister, and my parents, we lived on John R. and that was just for a while, and then we moved to another street on the west side, and we moved into a nicer, even a much better neighborhood. I kind of think, because now I've got I've done a lot of the things that I used to dream about. I used to dream about traveling the world. I used to dream about, wearing fabulous clothes and gowns and stuff like that, and those are just material things, but life has been far more interesting and of a blessing to me than just the material things. I've had a lot of good things happen to me that were just good things, meeting good people, making nice friends, just enjoying life, period. And also, with life comes the downs. You still have the downs and the tragedies, and then you think of all the relatives that have passed away that you wish were still here, and then your friends as well. So a lot of our friends have passed away, and now that we have to just look to the future, and as they say in that song, look to the rainbow, from Finian's Rainbow, and just try to make the world a little better.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Detroit. I've got family who live just outside Roseville, and I've flown into Detroit many times and gone round there. And of course, Hitsville will always be an iconic place for music. Let's start at the beginning and talk about your childhood. Were you always a singer? Could you always sing?
I didn't even know I had talent. I could sing, but I never knew I had anything special until I was 12. And that was because of my piano teacher, who discovered that I had a voice that was better than the average, and she encouraged me to sing at the next piano recital, and I was 12, and after that I started to enter talent contests, and after entering different talent contests, I started getting offers to do other things like record demos and things of that sort. So that was still while I was in my teens. I sang on the radio in a show called Don Large's Make Way for Youth, which I was in that for like 3 years, and that was a choral group, and I also was given solos periodically. So that's how I started. And then, of course, I was also courted by the great Berry Gordy Jr., of the founder of Motown and CEO, and this was before he ever had his record label, Motown. And he wanted to sign me as a teenager, and he wrote songs for me, and we went in a studio in Detroit, and we recorded those songs. Of course, they were never, ever released because my mother wouldn't go along, wouldn't sign, allow me to sign with him. So, but anyway, that's just part of my history. And today we're great friends, and, life goes on and so on and so on. But I had an interesting beginning. I also sang with the Duke Ellington Orchestra when I was 17. He wanted to sign me as his band singer as well. And then I went on to New York when I was 18 after graduating from high school, and then I got to meet the great Quincy Jones, who had a big band, and I performed with his big band, and I performed with Lionel Hampton. And just one thing led to another. No, I didn't know I had any singing ability until I was 12.
Mm. And again, when I look at your history, it seems to me you'd have been very happy just to have been a working jazz singer. Because, I mean, your idols were people like Ella and Billy. I mean, you loved the great vocalist, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I loved Ella Fitzgerald. I loved singers that maybe you don't even remember today, like Chris Connor, June Christie, Julie London, Colin McRae, Sarah Vaughan. I was a big fan of Sarah Vaughan's. Betty Carter. Oh, boy. There were a lot of great jazz singers back then. There was another singer. She wasn't really jazz, but she was like a cabaret legit singer. Her name was Edie Gourmet, and I loved her vocals.
Yeah, very big star over here too. And then, of course, the Motown years, we must talk about that, and Berry Gordy and those years. I don't think there's been a better period in music ever, has there? What came out of that studio was phenomenal and will live forever.
Oh, yeah. He made history with Motown and the artists that he recorded. He made history in the 60s, and then that continued through the 70s. And, of course, there's still a Motown label today, but, the biggest hits were from the 60s, the 70s, and then on through the 80s. So Motown is has made its indelible imprint on the world of R&B.
How sexy was it? Was it Stevie Wonder walking in one door and Diana Ross out of the other? That's how we envisage it.
Well, yeah, in a way, yeah. Yeah, it was Stevie Wonder back then. It was really Stevie Wonder.
Of course. Magical days. Do you still pinch yourself when you think of the people you've been able to sing with? I mean, even when we look very recently, you did an album where you featured with Cliff Richard. I actually saw that tour and that concert. It was remarkable. I mean, the people you get to sing with when you're as good as you are is always going to be a thrill, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it's really because, I guess because I had Band of Gold back in 1970 that became number one in the UK for 6 weeks straight, that left a great impression, and people remember that song, and I'm so grateful and blessed that people have remembered that song. And I was able to do a tour in 2011. That was wonderful, and that was brought about because of my relationship with David Guest, who is responsible for this tour coming up. You had, let's say, what is the name of it? It's called, I had the time of my life, and look, he's got Bill Medley. I don't think Bill Medley's ever done anything with David before. I don't think so. But Bill Medley, I'm excited to work with him, and I'm excited to work with Gregory Abbott, who is my ex-husband.
How is that? Is that awkward or is that fun?
You know what? It should be fun. It should be fun. You know what? It's like working with a bunch of people who are your old friends. It's like being with family. It's going to be like a big family reunion.
Well, let's look at this. I mean, we've got Sheila Ferguson, who's one of the greatest vocalists ever, just stunning from the 3 Degrees. We've got Denise Williams, The Times, Billy Paul, who I adore. What a star, Billy Paul.
Billy Paul.
He's incredible, isn't he?
Yes, worked with him many times.
CeCe Peniston, Dorothy Moore, Gregory Abbott, and of course the great Bill Medley, as you said. So many hits, You've Lost That Loving Feeling and The Time of My Life. Basically, you've got some of the greatest singers in the world. For you to be on that stage with them must be great, and it means you're still relevant, you're still credible, and you can still do it. What a compliment.
Well, all I have to say is that, we're still here, we're still surviving, and we still do what we do, and I, for one, love what I do. So I'm just privileged to say that like I said, it's like a family reunion as far as I'm concerned. It's working with people that mostly all of them I've worked with before, and I adore, and I have a great deal of respect for.
There's one person that is fascinating me at the moment. Did you ever get to work with Sinatra, or moreover, did you get to sing with him?
Oh, yeah, I got to work with Sinatra once, and this was at a benefit at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and it was back in the 70s, and it was a political function. It was black tie, and I got a chance to work with him then. I had met Sinatra before and other times, like in Florida, different places, and New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to know Sinatra.
Was he as overwhelming as a personality as we read?
Yeah, well, yeah, in a way, yeah. He had that charisma.
Incredible.
He had that kind of charisma.
Yeah. Let me throw a couple more names at you because you've worked with so many extraordinary people, the greatest days of TV. Of course, Johnny Carson, you did his show many times, and Merv Griffin.
Oh, yeah, I did the Carson show a lot in the 60s, and then a little bit in the 70s, a little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
In terms of your voice, how do you keep it as great as it is? I was just looking at you on the internet now. You sound as rich, and you have that purity and that innocence that you can't buy in a voice. How hard is it to maintain that?
Well, it's not hard at all. It's just you can't abuse your voice. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. And then of course I do vocalizing. Yeah, so I just take care of my voice, and also I'm into health and I'm into yoga, so that also helps me to maintain my voice as well.
Well, I look forward to meeting you when you come to Nottingham. This tour, The Time of My Life, is on all through the UK. Let's give just a few dates. Newcastle on the 24th of September. You'll be in Preston on the 25th, Liverpool on the 26th. You're going to York, Stockport, the Pavilion, De Montfort Hall in Leicester on the 1st of October. I'll see you at the Albert Hall in Nottingham on the 2nd of October. 2 shows, 6:15 and 9:30. Blackpool, you'll be on October the 5th. You'll be in Halifax the day before. Warrington on the 6th. And in London's Indigo at the O2, a beautiful venue, on the 7th of October. That's Freda Payne, our special guest today, one of the greatest voices in history, in the new show by David Guest called Time of Our Lives. Freda, it's been a great honour and a pleasure. Band of Gold has been the soundtrack to my radio career, and I thank you for it. You're a terrific talent. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Alex, and it was a pleasure speaking with you today.